Hello Soul Family, welcome to Alchemy Mystic Healing Messages. In this reading, we will be looking into how you can integrate an abundance mindset into your everyday life. The objective of this reading is to help you see where a lack mindset may be standing between you and your manifestations. This is a collective message, so it will not be for any specific zodiac sign. This is also a timeless reading, so whenever this message finds you is when you are meant to receive it. Please utilize your discernment and only take the messages that resonate with you. If you are in need of any additional assistance or support on your spiritual healing and or self-improvement journeys, I am also available for distant Reiki Therapy services. If you would like to learn more about Reiki Therapy, how it may benefit you, and details on the services I provide, all of that information can be found on the channel's community tab. If you stick around to the end of the message, I will let you know how you can save 30% on my Renew, Restore, Revitalize 40-minute distant Reiki therapy session. Alright, you guys, let's see what kind of healing messages the universe has for us today. Let me go ahead and cover these up. We have surrender as the abundance oracle message. We have the Ace of Pentacles, Earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. We have the Lovers, Gemini energy. The oracle message says, sometimes learning to surrender can feel as if you are dying. The ego learns what's hardest to stop trying to control the whole universe. Hold up, wait a minute. The ego learns what's hardest. Okay, to stop trying to control the universe. All right, clearly I need to have my glasses on when I read this. Yes, the ego wants to protect us. The ego has learned defense and offense mechanisms, and a lot of it is rooted in a need to control various people, places, and circumstances in order for you to quote unquote feel safe. The Son of Pentacles has been out here like crazy. I don't know if in this situation it is dealing with family. I don't know if it is dealing with the abundance that the soul family is stepping into. But I'm here to receive it. I'm here to surrender to it. As long as it's legit and I don't have to do anything crazy for it, I'm here for it. But I guess the Ace of Pentacles is here, so it does speak to the potential for the Ten of Pentacles. But I guess the potential of this soul family is this Ten of Pentacles energy. Nonetheless, it is Virgo energy. We also have the Six of Swords, which is air energy. So we have air and we have earth, no fire and no water. Interesting. All right, I think that's significant. So the Lovers is speaking about choices and decisions. And there comes many points in our lives, could be daily depending upon what you do and what you need to think about and how you live your life. But the decisions that we make day to day are what mold and create the life that we have. And if we make decisions out of our ego, out of the need to be in the offense or the defense at all times, then we may find ourselves in situations where we can't be as abundant or tap into the level of abundance that we desire. Or we may find ourselves bound to things that we don't want to be bound to, but we only choose them because they allow for us to feel as if we are in control. When the actuality is that we are surrendering our autonomy over to a power that isn't the Most High. The Lovers is also about aligning with our values. So I think the best way to get out of the energy of the ego is to assess what you value. If I value spending time with family, right? That allows me to frame my decisions and to be introspective about whether or not I am making decisions in alignment with my best and highest self, right? Because if I value time with my family, but the decisions that I make in terms of the jobs that I pick, the career that I chose, even the obligations of my job, right? And I'm only going with job because it's usually the thing that takes us away from our families, right? If all of the things that I've chosen in that arena are taking me away from my family, are causing me to spend not just less time, right? Because we still have to work our hours. But let's say instead of picking a job that requires you to only show up 40 hours, you are picking jobs that require you to show up 60 hours. And then on top of that, they expect you to travel overnight, or they expect you to be out of town for, from Monday to Thursday, right? Are those decisions in alignment with the thing that you say that you value? I value spending time with my family, and that is where you can see where the ego can come into play. Because the ego was going to say, no, we have to do that job because the job is going to allow us to provide for the family. But once again, we can loop back in and say, all right, can I provide for my family with a 40-hour-a-week work or career or job and still be there, right? It allows for this conversation to transpire. But we have to always go back to our values. Even when we get into job interviews and we ask questions, we have to ask questions not just about, the tangible, what does the 401k look like? How long do I need to be vested? What does the healthcare look like? Things along those lines, right? The tangible things, the logical things. We have to also think about, well, how is it managed, and am I going to be overly stressed, and are the hours going to be too much, and is this going to be sustainable long term? If I don't really like customer interaction, let's call it customer interaction, because it drains my energy, is this a situation where that is going to be a part of this situation, right? If this part of this job, this career, things along those lines, right? And once again, that's not necessarily a value, but it is about maintaining balance so that you can be expansive. The Two of Pentacles, which is not out here, but it's right after the Ace of Pentacles, which kind of speaks to the Lovers, right? The Lovers is about making a decision between two different things. The Two of Pentacles is about knowing where to put your energy. It's a similar sort of energy because the Two of Pentacles is about Jupiter in Capricorn. Jupiter is about expansion, and if you can get your Two of Pentacles right, you can get to the Ten of Pentacles. If you get your Two of Pentacles wrong, you may never get to the Ten of Pentacles. And it's all rooted in what you think, what you believe. So the Six of Swords, Aquarius energy, is speaking to making decisions that make sense, that keep things calm, that keep things steady, that keep things at a coasting level, right? Where you are coasting through this situation, which means that this situation is at its norm, it's at its plateau, right? If I go into a new job, my first 90 days, my first 6 months even, might be a little rocky. There's going to be training, there's going to be a learning curve. But once I get to that 6-month mark, I should be coasting. If in that coasting energy I am stressed, then am I really coasting, and have I made the best decision? Going back to the Lovers card, right? This is where the thought process of it is. What surrendering also requires is us to tap into our feelings, which is not here at all. Let's go ahead and get some more cards. But how do I feel about this situation? A lot of times when we want to be expansive, when we want to manifest, when we want to grow, when we want the abundance, we are not taking into account how we feel about a situation, but our feelings are coming from our soul, and our soul is saying, hey, I get to determine, for lack of a better word or phrase, when your heart stops. I get to determine whether you're healthy or not. I get to determine whether you're doing too much. And I get to show you that you're doing too much by putting you to lay down or sit down for a period of time because now you're sick, right? Those are all things that our soul has the capacity all right. Some of us in this soul family has souls that are very angry at this moment. They're yelling at you, they're screaming at you, they're saying, hey, this is not sustainable. This is not going to work long term. This seems like a good idea, and it can take us from A to B. It could take us from B to C, but it is not taking us much further than that. Yeah. We have to learn the lessons with this Page of Pentacle energy. I feel inclined to look at the bottom. We have the King of Pentacles, Taurus energy at the bottom, Page of Pentacles, Earth energy, corresponding with that Ace of Pentacles. Someone is maybe a bit too... No, I'm not going to say that. Page of Pentacles, Earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. There's a need to assess with this Hangman, Pisces energy the decisions that you're making, which is only reiterating what I had already said, right? There's a need for an assessment to say, is this in alignment, or is it putting me in compromising situations? Is it putting me in uncomfortable situations? Is it taking me away from the thing that I said I valued and that I said I wanted? Not just in the material, not just in the pay, not just in the benefits, but in the 360-degree perspective of the situation. Upright, if you're standing upright, it looks good. It looks good on paper. I said I wanted 6 figures, I got 6 figures. I said I wanted the health insurance that had these premiums or this deduction under this below this amount. We checked that box. I said I wanted 401k vested in this period of time with this percentage match. I got that, right? Like, those things are straight, but what about the details? Because that's where the devil is. The devil is in the details. The devil card is the duplicate depiction of the Lover's card. There is someone with wings, an angel with wings at the top with 2 people at the bottom. The devil card is the devil with wings with 2 people at the bottom bound. Are you binding yourself to things that do not serve you? Are the methods by which you are trying to get to this abundance turning out to not be good situations? Are they leaving you disappointed with this 3 of Swords Libra energy being here? Are you going about it in a manner you're like, all right, well, I'm going to become a doctor. I wanted to become a doctor. That's a real story. From the age of 4 to about 16, I wanted to be a doctor. And then I volunteered in a hospital, and I was like, why are all of these for 9 to 5 for an entire summer? I volunteered in the same hospital that my mother worked in. And I watched those doctors diligently, and I watched them day after day. And I was like, I literally had to ask nurses, like, why do they look so tired? What is it that they're doing? And when they gave me a breakdown of their schedule and how many hours they have to put in back to back, I said, I don't even want to go to the hospital. I don't even want to be sick, because these people, I don't know if they're on day 1 or day 5 by the time I get to them. I don't know if I'm going to survive. Because I don't know if they are functioning well, because I know how I get when I don't have sleep. I know how cranky I get, how much of a BIT, the rest I get when I don't have enough sleep, how snappy I get, how foggy my brain is. But you want me to give my life and put it in your hands when you're under these circumstances? No. I took another route. That route didn't work out well either. But a lot of us in this modern day society are taking routes that are not in alignment with who we are personally. We are taking routes that look good, that speak to the ego, that protect us at a very surface level. But at the end of the day, even if this 5 of Pentacles isn't about where we are financially, it may be where we are spiritually. This 5 of Pentacles being Taurus energy. It may be where we are spiritually. It may be where we are mentally, emotionally. There are so many people struggling with depression, struggling with anxiety, struggling with always being sick, people being chronically sick. We are in the modern day with modern science, modern medicine, and people are more sick today than they've ever been in my personal assessment. It doesn't make sense. And it's because we are not in alignment with our heart center. There are still, well, the hangman is technically cup energy. I was going to say there's still no cups out here. This is Neptune energy, this hangman energy. It's about what's not seen. It's about the outer plane, right? Going back to surrendering, giving up that energy, handing it over. Because what we are making logically with these swords being out here, the logical decisions that we are making are not taking us to a happy place. They are taking us to very much states of misery that we now have to stick to because we don't even know how to get out safely, right? Like, if I make 6 figures and I'm living well and I have a family to sustain, how do I get out of this? How do I reroute this? How do I get to the point where I don't have to do this thing when I am 20 years into this career, 15 years, 10 years in, and I've committed so much time and energy into this? How do I even go about starting over? So it's important that early on we take heed to these lessons that we are being taught so that we can get perspective on what the situation truly is, so that we can make better decisions moving forward. And even if you are 20 years in, there's always a potential for you to do better and choose better and to make shifts. Whether it is working independently, marketing yourself independently, selling your expertise independently. You also have the option of finding ways to fit it into other career fields, but something that is more in alignment with who you are and where you are in this point in your journey once these lessons come to you. Because it is in getting these lessons that you can now get to this abundance, this access to this opportunity for abundance. And it says learning to surrender can feel as if you're dying. This 3 of Swords, you know, it's a painful situation. It's a painful situation that brings a truth to light. Right? It's as if you said, you know, if I decided to become a doctor and I signed up for it and I did my 4 years of undergrad and then I did my, medical school and I've put all this money into it. I have all my loans. I do my internship, my externship, my specializations. I go through that entire process. And then 5 years into it, which is really more like already a 15-year investment at least, I'm like, you know what? I don't think I like this. How do I backtrack? I'm like, you know what? I want to paint. Right? How do I even decide to make that shift? Which is where I find a lot of people to be. So the earlier that we can surrender, the better. And the further along we are, the more we can leverage our expertise. But wherever you are in this process, the 6 of Swords is saying, think through this situation. Start with your values. What do you value? And work your way back from there. Do a number of Google searches to say, in XYZ career, which aspect of this career has the least amount of hours, the most amount of time I can spend with family? How do I get from this career to that career? How do I get from this job to that job, right? It's going to take some thought. It's going to take some strategy. It's going to take even consulting with someone in how to make that transition. It may even take discussing with someone who is in the field that you want to get into about the details of that job to see where what you already do aligns with what they do, so that when you get into an interview, even if it's relatively entry level, you can bridge for the person that you're speaking to the similarities between the two. And I don't know why I'm getting heavily that this has to do with a financial situation, aside from the fact there's a whole bunch of pentacles out here. There's more pentacles out here than there is anything else. But nonetheless, I hope that this message was helpful. All right, you guys, this is what I have for you today. If you resonate with this message, were able to obtain any clarity, or found it to be helpful in any other manner, please like, share, subscribe, and feel free to share your story in the comment section. These expressions of gratitude are not only free for you, but they allow me to develop a deeper connection to your energy. With this deeper connection, I am able to pull messages that are more aligned with your specific situation. I want to thank you guys for being here, and as promised, I have a quick message letting you know how you can save 30% on my Renew, Restore, Revitalize 40-minute distant Reiki therapy session. I hope to see you again soon. Namaste. If you look in the description box below, the very last link is labeled 30% discount link. When you select it, it will take you to the Alchemy Mystic shop where you can purchase my distant Reiki therapy services. The Renew, Restore, Revitalize 40-minute session will assist you with grounding and protecting your energy. More specifically, it will help to clear energetic residue associated with past traumatic experiences, allowing you to feel less triggered and positioning you to move forward in a more calm, balanced, and empowered state. This service is performed remotely at the date and time that you schedule your appointment. The service can be performed while you are conducting your everyday activities, with the exception of operating a vehicle or any heavy machinery. I look forward to serving you soon.